Welcome.
No, I never got sick of looking at my stupid avatar.
You know, you did this to yourself.
I'm well aware.
I don't know what you want me to say. You know what? I'm gonna turn it down slightly because it still seems loud. Now it's too quiet.
You having issues? It's already scuffed.
KK Hypno, why are you so weird? That should be fine.
Stop being obsessed with my eyebrows, Faye.
Maybe she has a fetish.
Oh.
Do you have a fetish for hair, Faye? Are you into armpits? There's some people that are into armpits.
Oh, I bet.
Not only
It doesn't surprise me.
not only hairless ones, but very hairy ones too.
Oh, probably.
Mm-hmm. I could see Faye being into it. And if not being into it, at least reading 10 fanfics on the subject.
To figure out if she's into it.
Yeah. She's thorough
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Anyways. Hello. Hi, everyone. Today.
We had to get our bullying of Faye out of the way.
It'll come back eventually.
It will.
But today, we are going to be talking about stuff. Related to us, because we have, as I would assume many children do, but I feel like we probably did it to a different extent, made characters and stories and let our imaginations run wild. And
Maybe a little
so-
too wild.
Yeah, I can recall a very specific time when that happened, and we both never returned to that document. But
Except once every 3 years to reread it.
that's not even the one that I'm talking about.
Oh.
I'm talking about the one where they were on the couch.
Ah.
Anyways, so we'll get into it. Anyways, so basically, I have made a very scuffed looking PowerPoint because it turns out apparently OBS cannot capture the photo app on Windows, even though it used to be able to do the Windows Media Player and everything. But here we are. So I've made a presentation for you for us to go through all of our eras and our characters and possibly what stories they're related to. And spoiler alert, a lot of them interconnect with each other. And some of these are just like photos specifically, but there are also stories that we have written together that we have never made any media for other than the stories themselves.
Yeah.
It just means that we weren't that dedicated, you know? Because eventually we all lose our motivation.
Pretty dedicated to some of mine.
Yeah, but if it's a shared one that like we're going through a phase.
Yeah, our shared ones are kind of
Ikebukuro RP I can think of for one of them specifically. But that one we both had characters that we actually got like made. And by got made I mean I made my terrible one, and I think you got someone to make. Was it Sam who was in that?
Sam. No, you're thinking Kimberly.
Kimberly Lippington.
Nope.
Hi, Mikey.
We'll see her in the PowerPoint. We'll see her in the
Anyways.
PowerPoint. Hi, Mikey.
Let me get the projector set up. Let me just...
I could go into my Wattpad days too. That's an entire thing.
Hello. It came out of nowhere. It came in like a wrecking ball.
It came in like a projector.
I think this will be fine. I might move me slightly over because again, I have a big hat.
That's fine.
But you have no eyebrows, so you're fine.
Yeah, you know, it's.
That's the real
It helps.
reason why you don't have eyebrows.
It would be too distracting.
It's true. Okay, so we have this lovely PowerPoint. You know what? I'm gonna change the music to something less ominous, so that it's not as terrifying. We'll do bubblegum.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Oh, that's much too loud. We don't need it that loud. That's still loud. See, I wish you were my audio monitor. That's what I need
I
you to be.
can't. I can be.
Okay. So, let's go through how bad it's gonna be.
Oh boy.
And also, I'm telling you all,
I've never seen this PowerPoint. I've added pictures. Oh my god.
there is art in here that I have not looked at in a hot minute. And also, it's from my 3DS days.
What is with the hands?
I told you, remember when I was in the designer thing, it just put in random things and I thought that was funny. It's fine. So anyways, hi, I hate it here. PowerPoint is not made to make good PowerPoints, believe it or not. So let's move on. If it'll let me. There we go. Okay, so this is already a lot to unpack. Let's go from top left onward. So in the top left, you may see a muscular fox. Don't laugh at me. We're gonna get to you real soon, Missy.
No, I know. I'm well aware.
So, in the top left, you'll see a muscular fox. Now, I myself do not claim to be a furry in this day and age. I think I went through a furry phase because of someone I was hanging out with. That is what I'm gonna blame it on.
Okay.
Because I'm not still currently in the fandom. Nothing against them, just not with them. And all of these, by the way, were drawn on my 3DS in Colors 3D. Because that was the only app I had access to that had the ability to color things. So if we then go to the bottom left, oh god. So this is when I transferred. I think this is when I was no longer friends.
Out the two.
Shh. I will get to it. This is when I transferred from no longer being friends with the furry person, which makes it seem like they were just a hairy person. That's not what I mean. But when I was like, let's make this character who was called Quizzy, and originally it was, I guess you could say, a self-insert, except it wasn't. It's like, it was like he was a character in and of himself, and yet he was also me. It's hard to explain. Listen. So that is when I transferred him into being a human rather than an anthropomorphic fox. And the whole reason I did it is because he was supposed to be a guard at Five Nights at Freddy's. Specifically the second game, because Out of Frame is a lovely drawn 2 that is bleeding that you cannot see, that I was so proud of.
It's a good 2.
It was a good 2. And yeah, this is the origin of how Quizzy came to be. As a character, as me, as anything. I'm not proud of his hair. I'm not proud of a lot of things about this drawing, actually.
But you were like, how old were you when you just like 14, 13, 14?
Probably like 13 going on 14.
Yeah, compare this to what your avatar now that you drew.
Basically, it's a whole thing. And meanwhile, while this entire transformation on the left was happening, on the right, you will see Sarah's original character design, which I think this was more a self-insert, and then it slowly devolved into so many different personas.
What it originally was it was my Minecraft skin.
Yeah. But
I made it my Sona. And then Quiz drew it.
Do you even remember where you got the skin from?
Just, I think, from Skindex or something like that.
Wow, they'll never know the origins that they've made for you.
They'll never know.
And fun fact, I'm gonna get into even more fun facts. This was technically just the original drawing of what she would look like from her skin. Don't pay attention to how wacky the torso is and how her hips definitely do not lie. And how massive her bazonkas are. Like, I don't understand what's going on there. Also, why is her right arm bigger than her left arm? We don't know. But this persona was used in a lovely Mindplex fan fiction, essentially.
for those who don't know what Mineplex is, Mineplex was a Minecraft server, a mini game server basically. It was very popular. It's not even
around anymore.
It's not around anymore. No.
We're old.
Yeah.
But basically, she was writing stories on the Mineplex forum.
Yeah.
And she asked people.
It was popular for the writers there to make these applications open and be like, hey, you want your character to be featured in this Mineplex fanfic? And so
it got interaction.
Like, it did get interaction.
There were so many more characters lined up that we didn't even do.
No, I made like, I don't even remember what the main, I know my brother was the
I was gonna say, I know you
guy.
made him evil.
Yeah, my brother was the evil guy. Who invaded and transported everyone into the game of Minecraft. But I don't remember the plot other than.
Yeah, I mean,
you got like 2 chapters.
There's some image. I don't know if they're still on my 3DS or what, but there are images that I made also on my 3DS depicting different characters that were supposed to be the characters that she was inserting into the story, because she asked me to draw it and I was like, sure, and it looked so bad. But yeah, so this is basically the origins of us in our own little way.
Yes.
And moving on, here we go.
Aha!
Different topics now. Okay, so here, you take it away. Go with the left onwards.
Okay. So on the left, you have one of my characters and then one of my friend's characters from many, many years ago on DeviantArt, of all places.
Oh yes, DeviantArt.
Yes. So the orange guy is mine, and then the other guy is his husband. This was part of my gay awakening. This is how I learned I was not straight.
I learned that by drawing dudes. So like...
yeah. The thing is, me and my friend role played as these characters. And so his name was Allegro Fast Feed, because I couldn't name.
Sounds like a warrior cat name.
I still like the name Allegro, to be honest. I need to change his last name, but I like the name Allegro.
No, I think you should keep Fast Feed.
Allegro, like the music thing. Allegro, because he was fast. That was part of his thing. He controls time. Complicated. But
I was about to say, there's depth for all of these characters, by the way.
He's part of a much bigger story. No, that's Allegra.
I was about to say, that's not Allegro. You mean cilantro?
No, so he was a part of a much bigger thing that I've actually repurposed his story, and now he's a part of that, which you'll see characters for later.
I don't know where, but you will.
You will. And he was actually born from specifically a Minecraft self roleplay that I did on my own because I was bored as a child in modded Minecraft, and so he was born, and I still love him dearly. I don't talk to this person anymore. Haven't
Allegro
been on DeviantArt
or this DeviantArt person?
The DeviantArt person.
Talks to Allegro every day.
I do, as you do. But yeah, he controls time, like I said. He can slow it down or speed it up for himself or for something in particular. If you know, like, the best way I can describe it is like if you know like how the Tears of the Kingdom time thing is, it's similar to that. Yeah.
Okay, and then the next character?
The next one is Kimberly Main, who's also actually technically a part of the same story that Allegra is a part of, just at a different time.
Wow.
She
and
was
you didn't
originally...
even tell me because I was in a different story with her.
Yeah, she was originally for a story with Quiz.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the point of the story. Was that our oh, what is it?
That wasn't our Life is Strange thing, if that's what you're asking.
No, not the Life is Strange. Oh, it's a PS4 game.
PS4?
Oh, what is it? Where they suck all the stuff out of it.
Infamous Second Son?
Yeah, was that what it was for?
No.
No? Okay.
That was, I think, what our Life is Strange thing was going to be similar to.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly. So basically, as Sarah said, that character and this character on the right, in the top right, his name was Alex. Every character I made had red eyes. And they all looked like this, essentially. They were in the same story together called, I think we just called the Ikebukuro University roleplay. But it was literally just Mike. It started off
No,
with...
wait, hold on. No, this isn't Sam.
Then, oh, hold on. Wait. Are these from the same story?
No.
Then who's the other guy then that I did?
I don't know, but okay, so do you remember that story where...
Hold on, let me get into Google Docs.
It was a story where this character, Kimberly Maine, could, like, go into shadows. I don't remember what yours could do, but yours had a power, too.
Hold on. Oh, I found it.
What is it?
Ew, that's what I named him.
What did you name him?
Okay, so it was when we did a different one called Azusa High.
We like to do a lot of high school stuff.
And a lot of weeaboo things. Like,
Yeah.
And I named mine Kechi Kotomi. Oh my god. What was his power? He did something. I don't remember what he did. He was a hipster. No, he was literally a 1-for-1 copy of that girl from Life is Strange with the time power.
So it was kind of our Life is Strange thing. I just had a different power.
Yeah. Oh, I found a different image of Kimberly Maine.
That's probably the old one. So what happened was on DeviantArt, how I even got this image was someone was like, hey, give me your character and I will, or like describe your character and I'll draw it for free. And so I put in Kimberly's stuff and they drew one initially. And then later on they decided to revisit it and they drew the current one. I have the old one, but I didn't include it.
Doc. Okay, so then that's what that story was from. If we go to Alex's story, that's the Ikebukuro roleplay where instead of high school, it was now college. And this, yeah. I don't think had superpowers in it. I think its whole thing was supposed to be like a slice of life where like we were transfer students to a Japanese college or something.
Because of course.
Because
everything was in Japan.
Everything was in Japan. But yeah, have you ever gotten art of Sam done?
No.
Huh.
I have stories of Sam because I repurposed Sam as a One Piece OC and used it for role playing on Wattpad.
Wattpad's a different demon. That one we're gonna get Fate involved in. And then on the bottom right is we are not going through this. So on the bottom right is a drawing I did based off of Irregular at Magic High School, the anime/manga. And I'm pretty sure both me and Sarah only watched, I don't even know if Sarah watched any of it. I watched like maybe one episode or 3 episodes. And I was like, let's make self-insert OCs.
I got dragged into this and I was like, okay, sure.
And we made a fic somewhere about it. But I can't find it. Like I looked on Google Docs and everything and I couldn't find it. So I don't know where it is, but I do know that we wrote something because I remember. But yeah, so that's this. And if we move on, oh, here we go. This is when Sarah gets a redesign.
Yes.
So, as you can tell by the infamous stripper photo, this was the initial redesign that I don't even know what prompted it, honestly.
I feel like you just did it of your own accord.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, I feel like what originally happened was, did the skin redesign or this come first?
I feel like this came first. This came first, and then you based the skin off of this.
Pretty much. But basically, she didn't want to be blonde anymore.
No, this is when I started really liking blue.
And so we went with blue, a lovely ponytail that looks so interesting nowadays. And then the iconic, the infamous, we kept the stripper outfit first of all, but the infamous rainbow gradient that goes all over the body.
Yes.
That isn't really a rainbow. It's a very specific set of colors,
It's
actually.
yeah.
But yeah, and then I think I ended up designing, I used the same base skin that she had, and I just redid the colors and stuff to make it match this. But yeah, and then based off of that, that's when this version of Sarah was birthed into the world.
And then this thing on the top left is once again something else my one of my DeviantArt friends made for me when I wanted to try and start a SoundCloud.
It's still there, by the way.
It's still there. There are some things on there where you won't go into them.
Not now.
Nope.
But this is also when, because this was the more defined version of Sarah, this is when a bunch of the Renaissance period, if you will, boomed of me making a lot of artwork between our characters.
Yes, that is my
happened.
stream icon. The thing on the bottom left. I'm directionally challenged.
Okay, we know.
Thing on the bottom left, the me. That is my Steam icon. Still.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I've probably sent Sarah so many things that she just randomly uses. She has so many different character design
have
artworks
so many.
just
I do.
all over her computer. But yeah, so speaking of the Renaissance period, this is when my personal Renaissance with Quizzy came about. So, as you may recall, I was only drawing him on the 3DS. And in the top right, that is sadly a 3DS photo. We're not going to talk about it any further because it's not a good one. But that's when I drew him, I think, as a runner from Mirror's Edge. And I don't know how those pants are staying up. That belt is not tight. But this is when I started doing digital artwork on Photoshop versus on my 3DS. That is what these bottom three are. Well, I say the left one and then the two on the right. So, I don't know what happened between the initial happening of Quizzy that turned him into this buff man in the middle right. But I think that was when I was experimenting with my homosexuality. And I just started drawing him bigger. So, you know, that happened. And like I said, this also is when a bunch of the artwork between Quizzy and Sarah boomed, because this was my prime period for like just drawing a bunch of garbage. And so yeah, I'm pretty sure the bottom right one was like my Skype icon for a really long time.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
And with that, here is some of the Renaissance period of the stupid garbage we did. I think
These are all canon to ourselves.
I think we literally went through like a prompt website and just asked it to do random things based off of what it was.
Where did the sunglasses originate in that summoning one?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, because I think the top left was the first one ever. I don't remember the exact order, but I know that the sunglasses mall one came after the demon one. So
Yeah.
basically, their dynamic was that they were friends, obviously.
Obviously.
There is more to it.
There is more.
Which we
There's
might,
a lot, yeah.
which we'll probably get into to some extent because there's gonna be more characters related. But yeah, so this was just stuff that was going on in this period of time where I was like having fun on Photoshop. And then also during that time frame was a bunch of personal projects that I started and never finished, which I feel like a lot of artists do. So both of these, well, all four of these, I don't remember who the person in the middle is even from, but I swear his name is Dex and he's from the top right comic idea, because I had an idea for a comic that was called Display and it revolved around people with superpowers, but it was specifically more mutants in an apocalyptic setting. And then the one all the way on the left and then the bottom right were of the same comic idea. It wasn't a comic idea. I think it was just a story idea called Jelly that had to do with depression.
Ah, I see.
But I had fun with it because I think that was the most I had gone in depth in characters, because I did a bunch of character exercises in college related to them.
Oh.
But yeah, so the display one probably never happening. I do not remember hardly any of it. But the Jelly one maybe in the future. I don't know. But again, as you can tell, different from 3DS art. We're not going to talk about the middle one, but everything else different from 3DS art. And then with those ideas, we have the merged ideas. Don't look at Sarah. We have the merged ideas of when me and Sarah would do stories together, like this one, which made no sense. I don't even remember what started it. All I remember is that it was an SCP, like, fan fiction or story based in it. And did I come up with both of the characters, or did you come up with one of them?
I would have to see.
All I know is there is a document that is on our Google Drive that specifically has like equations in it.
Yeah,
and
there was time travel involved.
It was related. We like went really in depth with how you could travel through space-time related to this fic that we never wrote. Like, yeah. It never made any sense.
Andrew, you helped with this, whether you remember it or not.
I was
you
about to say,
with
you
this.
were there doing the calculations. You were our Einstein, okay? And I don't remember what the middle guy's name was. I don't remember if he even had a name. I just remember the girl on the left's name was Jasmine Nazari.
Yes, I've repurposed her for the same story that Kimberly's a part of.
Thank God. I was never gonna use her. And then all the way...
You're just me as Frisk from Undertale.
On the right was, once again,
I want that picture. Send me that picture. That's cute.
Sarah being put into different situations based off of either what she told me to do or what I did by myself. But yeah, so now we get into Sarah's stuff.
Oh boy.
Because Sarah is Frisk. Let's get into Undertale and original stories.
Okay, starting off with the bottom right, or the very clear Sans Undertale stuff. Only the short one is mine. The short Sans is mine. This was from Tumblr. When Undertale was popular, I had a roleplay blog on Tumblr where I roleplayed an original character that you'll see later, and Sans.
Wattpad and Tumblr, man.
Yep. And so the short one was mine, and there was a lot of universe crossing over. There was a lot of AUs, and so I was friends with these other people who also had like their own version of Sans, and I don't talk to them anymore because they were transphobic. I was going through my gender identity entire crisis thing.
So you learn so much online.
Yeah. So there's that entire thing.
No, Mikey, I did not go through that phase. That was exclusively a Sarah phase out of the two of us.
I still love Undertale. I still think it's a wonderful story and a wonderful game. And I still love my characters that I have in the stories that I've made, even though they were very cringy and like clearly, oh dear, something was wrong with me and I just didn't know it.
Yeah, but that's all of our characters at this point.
But the top right was what I think the first commission I ever got done.
How nostalgic.
The purple-haired girl are obviously the same person.
If you couldn't tell.
The one on the left, my friend did for me, and I love both. But the top right is kind of a better version of it. And it's a part of a story that I'm currently writing. It's technically the first installation of the story that both Allegro and Kimberly are a part of. Because it's the first story in the timeline.
Shinny, how are you still stuck on SCPs?
Yeah, hold on. Do you not know what SCP is?
It stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. And there's a website dedicated to this government organization. Sinead, do we need to have an SCP episode? because we
will. I think
definitely
that's
could.
I think that's already, isn't that already on the list?
I don't think it is, but I could probably put it on the list. Because the amount of things on that website could go on forever.
Yeah.
Because it's all fan dedicated and written by like hundreds of thousands of people.
I will not be joining for that pod.
Shinny, it's not real. It's not real, and they're not all creepy. Some of them are just weird things.
Some of them are funny. Some of them are wholesome.
Some of them are stupid. Like, that's kind of the whole point of it. The only ones that you see that are quote unquote like famous are typically the ones that are creepy because people just like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's fine, Shani. You're not a real fan of us. It's okay. Anyways,
back to my story. The entire aspect is that they have magic. This is a part where magic was a thing in the world. And obviously there's crystals because I'm a crystal whore. And her name is Sori. And then the guy's name is Aura. So yeah.
and that's all you need to know.
I mean, is there anything else I need to add?
No, not necessarily. I'm trying to. Okay.
I still love this art. This art is so pretty. Oh,
I need to predict where it goes from here. I don't know. Oh, okay. Breaking news: he got a haircut. So basically, I don't see. We had been writing stuff. Me and Sarah had been writing stuff together at this point already, but I think after a certain point is when we like very hardcore leaned into writing this shared story between us involving these characters. And so on the top right is when I gave Quizzy a haircut. And just because he's called Quizzy, let it be known, he's not me. At this point, I think he had fully disassociated with me because he was a full-on himbo. And like, so he had gotten a haircut and we started fleshing out different characters within the story. There's obviously Quizzy, there's Sarah. I gave Quizzy a sister named Jade. She's the one with the red hair. And the bottom right was, I think, the first time I ever drew her. And then bottom left is when, surprise, surprise, she got a haircut. And then top left was just a different image I did of Quizzy at the time. And if you look in the bottom right at the one with the nosebleed, that's Leo. That's Sarah's character, who there's only one technical full-on art piece of that exists.
Yes. It's a good art piece though.
But yeah, so this is when things were starting to evolve, both artistically and within the story, as you can tell, because it doesn't look almost as trashy as the 3DS stuff. And then we move on to Sarah. See, I put them together.
You did. I'm so happy. Okay. So that original character for the Undertale thing that I was talking about is the two on the left and the one on the right. Believe it or not, those are all the same people. Which I have to kind of explain because there's more evolved, but I won't go into too depth because it's makes me kind of sound crazy.
I think we're past that point.
Well, it's hard to say, especially if you don't know a lot of terminology and therapy and everything. Because yes, it does relate. But
Sure.
the girl on the left is named Ariel, as in the font, spelled like the font. And it's because she was Sansa's sister. I did that a lot. I was just like, who's my favorite character? And then insert, it's like, I'm the sister now.
It's that sister dynamic coming back.
I love that for a lot. I love that a lot for some reason. But she's also the one on the right who is Glitch. That's their name. It's Glitch. And their entire purpose is to kind of create characters, basically. Like, they're part of what I call my core 5 of characters. Sarah is one of the core 5. Glitch is also one of my core 5, who it makes characters for me. That's what I say that they do in my little story I have of my head. And then the ones in the middle are, there's Theo on the right and then Iza on the left. Iza is Sori's brother and Theo is Iza's boyfriend. And Iza is the main character of that story.
And it's a separate story.
No, it's the same story that Sori is a part of.
No. Like from the previous ones.
From the Undertale one, yeah, that's separate. And or the Glitch one, yeah, that's separate.
Are they in one of the previous ones that you had talked about before?
Who? Glitch or Iza?
Both of the ones in the middle.
The ones in the middle are a part of the same one that Sori and Aura are a part of. The ones that I got the commission of.
See?
They're part of the same story.
If you had told me that, I would have put them all on the same page together.
They're a part of the same story. This is where it gets confusing because I have very fleshed out stories with a lot of information that only I really know. So...
See, mine are less fleshed out and more details that I think of and they're in my mind, but I never put them down anywhere. So, like, I know what I'm talking about when I'm thinking about these characters, but I've never put them anywhere to document it.
Fun fact, the art of Iza and Theo was a commission I got done of my favorite Red versus Blue artist.
Shout out to you all who know what Red versus Blue is.
AKA Andrew.
There might be more. We're not counting Shinny, but it could be anyone else. So yeah. As you can tell, Sarah is much more in depth lore-wise with her stories than I think I ever have been. And it's not terrible in the sense of like, it's not that I don't create the stories in the same way. I just think I'm lazy. Like, I don't go into that depth as much and or document it to the point of having the details down.
I have these entire stories planned out. Like, all of these things are within this entire, like, timeline that I have in my head.
See, if I learn how to plan, this might be better. Because then I might be able to actually create something. But, you know, story of my life. Where do we go next from here? Oh, boy. Okay, so... First of all of these commission work, all of them beautiful. Love them.
Absolutely.
They're gorgeous. I love all of the artists that I've ever commissioned because they make beautiful artwork. See, that's the reason why I commissioned them. But
yeah,
so,
you know, that's kind of the point.
On the left, Quizzy and Leo. News update, they're gay and together.
They're gay.
They're gay, they're together. So now me and Sarah have intertwined couples. This isn't the only couple that exists, but I cannot find that weird...
Did you ever draw her?
Do you remember that one weird pen drawing I did where I only did the top of her head and her mouth was like blacked out or something with a piece of tape or something?
Vaguely?
Basically, Sarah owned Sarasona / the blue stripper.
The blue-haired. She's an assassin, actually. But...
We'll get into it. And also Leo in this picture, but also the mysterious unknown Kelvin, which we don't know if he even exists in this story because I don't think we've ever definitively said whether or not it's going to happen. And regardless, even if he doesn't show up, eventually Sarah's going to repurpose him somewhere.
Yeah, it's an eventual, yeah.
But I owned Quizzy, obviously, and then I owned Jade, who was a sister, and this girl named Kenzie, who was Sarah's eventual girlfriend, I think. That's how it led up into it. And then the one in the middle is Jade. This is the commission work that I got done. Surprise, surprise, she got another haircut. But everything else relatively the same. And then obviously, I think the first time I ever got a full-on commission was the one all the way on the right, when I got it of Quizzy. And then I moved on to get the one on the left, then the middle one, and then another one that you guys are going to see eventually, which some of you already know what it looks like. But yeah, so this is basically just me fully committing to like, this is what my characters look like, and getting artwork done of them to be like, yay, They're real. In my sense. Not in they're actually with me in the room, but like...
I'd like to point out that it was because of the commission you got of Leo, where the commissioner gave him eyeliner, that made me realize that Leo was a drag queen.
Wow.
So...
Who knew? That's all where it started. Okay, I don't know where we're going from here. Oh, never mind. I know where we're going. And we're back into Sarah territory.
We're back into my territory. So these are the remaining 3 of the core 5. You have on the left, you have DR/Dim. These are all pick crews, by the way. I did not draw them. I did not commission them. They're all done through pick crew. I think all except one of the watermarks has been cropped off.
Not on purpose. I just put them in there.
So you have Dim/DR on the left, you have Sky in the middle, and then you have Mani/Hannah on the right. And they have multiple names because of story reasons. The same way Ariel and Glitch are the same person. They just have different names. So Sarah was the person who kind of ran everything for a while. Sky came in and took over running it because they became my new persona. Well, kind of. They kind of hand in hand. But Ariel/Glitch was in charge of making all the characters. Dim was in charge of making the settings and environments, and then Mani was in charge of making the conflict.
Wow. There always
Yes.
needs to be a shit starter, doesn't there?
I mean, the name Mani came literally from Manipulator. So
Nice.
yes.
I mean, yeah, for a good amount of time, I do remember Sarah used more like Sky related stuff. And like
Yes,
not only just like title wise, but also image wise for a bunch of stuff.
Yes, I still adore Sky's design and everything. I've kind of accepted that it's not as much me as I would like it to be. So,
So
but
yeah.
I still love Sky and I still use them regularly. That's my Discord name and everything is Sky. So
Everything is Sky.
it is Sky.
Okay, I don't know where we go from here. Oh look, we're in the D&D section. So, you go first. You explain these two.
Okay. The one on the top left is my Air Genasi Cyclone. Or just called Psy. And I got to use them once for a D&D with all of you, and then I never used them again.
I mean, you could use them in the future.
I'm going to. I still love them dearly. And then the top right is my current D&D character, Amelia Goldeye, who is a pirate, that I also love dearly. And she's very money hungry, and she has a lucky coin that she wears around her neck, and I love her. She's also my only character that I can think of that actually wears makeup.
And that's all you need to know.
Yep.
Meanwhile, this was the only official character that I like officially made, because I've like designed some previously and like thought of some ideas and some backstories that I wanted to use for different characters before. This is the only one that I actually fully was like, I know what his backstory is, what he looks like, all that stuff about him. So this is Theo. Both of them are the same thing. One is just more of an in-depth about all the details. Because the one on the bottom left is the commission I got done using the one on the right as a base for like what I wanted done. So he is a tiefling, as you can clearly tell. And his whole shtick is that he's an asshole, but he's a very gorgeous asshole. And so he, funnily enough, was a bard, even though I feel like me myself would not be a bard, but I kind of ran with it in a sense of a mocking way, where I would constantly just like, because I had such high charisma and stuff, I would just manipulate people. And that's basically the whole reason that I even existed in that party, because I was meant to do the talking to people and get things that we needed. So I would constantly be flirting or intimidating people and they would be freaking out. And yeah, his whole shtick, I guess, like summarized, is that he was like part of a royal family, a royal tiefling family, which was unheard of in the part of the world that he grew up in. And so he questioned that a bit, but then at the end of the day, his family ended up making him help to get rid of anyone that would like protest their name, because they would often claim that they were like part of a high hell lineage, and that's why they shouldn't be messed with. And it ended with, I think, some of his friends being killed in the crossfire, and that's why he left to go on his own journey to discover whether or not he could reveal his family as frauds. And yeah, that was its whole thing. It was a whole... What?
The only thing I can remember from that one D&D session that I was a part of was Sai specifically breaking out of a window that was not supposed to be broken into or broken out of. I remember the phrase, "You broke through an unbreakable window." And
Well,
then Spider-Man down a wall.
see, that was funnily enough the one time that Sarah played with everyone else. I was not there.
Yeah. I was very out of my depth.
There was, yeah. If we ever did D&D in the future, I don't know how we would do it. You know what? I wouldn't mind being a dungeon master, because I feel like that could be fun, but I would definitely need to do research on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know if we would ever even do another D&D campaign though, or like when we would ever find the time for it, considering
Everyone's schedules.
It was already a miracle back then. I feel like it would be crazy now, but so yeah, we have D&D, all that stuff. And then where do we go now? Oh yes. And now we conclude with where I am specifically, in the sense of,
look at those butt cheeks.
stop looking at his ass. All of the garbage related to this character that I went through, concept design wise, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I literally, was it sometime last year that I had asked all you guys between all those categories what you thought represented me?
Oh yeah, I remember that vaguely, yeah.
Basically, I had asked all of my friends, out of like a set list of adjectives and stuff that I could use to describe myself, what do they think described me? And they picked some, and it ended up with a consensus on Neon Witch, and so I ran with that aesthetic, and that's how I got here. And did I know that he was going to be as hoary as he was? Probably.
I was about to say.
But that's
Like,
the
I
fun
don't
of it
believe
all.
that you didn't know.
That's the fun of it all. And the even more fun part is, technically speaking, while this is its own, he's like his own separate entity in the sense of, this is the most me coded character. I would still consider him a character, but it's still me. But I also still have a story in mind for him. Like, why does he look like that? But yeah, I've already started kind of writing those details down, because that I actually do want to flesh out eventually. And I have this one art piece in mind that I really want to do, but I am scared it's gonna not look great. But I just kind of have to try it. But yeah, and now the conclusion. Now we can take a break. So I hope you all enjoyed that lovely, lovely reminiscing time. We're gonna be right back, and then we can talk about more of our story if you wanted to know. And yeah, so be right back. I was muted slightly. It's fine. We're back now.
Okay.
Don't laugh at me. Anyways, so what are your thoughts? What is your retrospective look at all of these characters?
It's grown a lot.
Like the amount of characters?
Well, yeah, the amount of characters, but also especially for my characters, going from all these individual stories to now they're all part of this one big story.
I don't have the consistency to do that, because I don't think I could ever make it work. Like, I don't think I could ever make them fit together in a decent way.
Well, I kind of did like a generations type thing. Like
What, like a sim challenge?
Almost. These group of
These groups of sims.
These group of characters are during one point in this timeline, and then skip over 50, 70 years later. Now it's these group of characters. Skip another 50, 70 years. Now it's another group of characters, but they're all part of the same overarching
it's like
timeline.
Avatar.
Kind of, yes.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Avatar, did you watch the live action?
No, I have not. I'm scared to.
You should. It's not that bad.
It's also not Avatar.
And it's also been renewed for all the rest of the seasons.
Wonderful.
Also, Mikey, you're quitting? Now? Right now? Quit now. Do it. Do it for the pod.
Walk out.
Walk out in pod name. Put a poster on your back that says for the pod. But yeah, Avatar, it wasn't that bad. That wasn't me gagging at thinking of that series, but it was more like, if you were to watch that by itself, I don't think it would be nearly as bad as it is when you compare it, obviously, to the original.
That's fair. Okay.
Because the original,
to watch.
Everyone considers the original like a masterpiece at this point. So
yeah,
comparing anything to that is automatically going to bring its stuff really down.
Yeah. I mean, I still haven't watched the One Piece live action. And everyone keeps saying that's
surprising.
Really good. I'm scared. Live actions scare me.
Well, I mean,
especially when you're like me, who has such a high, that holds One Piece to such a high regard because I love it as much as I do.
One might say too much.
Well,
I mean,
so to watch the live action where I know they're not going to keep certain things the same way, and I'm gonna just be nitpicking everything, it's kind of like why?
I mean,
why bother?
It's the same way with the Avatar stuff when I saw it, because like in my mind I'm like, that's not how that happened at all. Like there was not a jet terrorist attack on the Omashu King. But I understand from a standpoint of how many episodes they were given why they would condense things and put things into certain areas and like have liberties, because they literally otherwise couldn't cover it.
Yeah.
So I think it just comes down to like being okay with their creative liberties. Because it's not going to change what actually happened.
No, I mean, they are actually remaking the anime to help fix the pacing issues. I will eventually. Dad also said that he wanted to watch it with me, so maybe we'll do that before he leaves.
I was about to say when.
We'll see.
Oh, Mikey, you're in for a treat when Sarah gets her One Piece episode.
You can say that he's a massive One Piece fanboy, but you don't know how obsessed I am.
Yeah.
I could teach a lecture on One Piece.
Please don't. I'm begging of you.
Well, you don't want to know the ins and outs of Devil Fruits?
I don't even know what those words mean. Shitty, that's also going to be the other episode Shitty skips. I'm trying to think. Would we even, because I know for like K-pop or Luna that I wanted to have someone as a guest so I could, you know, talk at them. So like for One Piece, who do you think you would want to have as a guest?
I don't know. No one else really likes One Piece like me.
Well, that's the thing. No one
We'll
really likes
tolerate
K-pop
it.
or Luna like me, but like I'm talking at them, not with them.
But it's also a case of who's gonna tolerate it. I can make you tolerate it. I don't feel bad making you tolerate it.
I think we should
But-
always just have Shinny as a buffer.
Shinny's gonna tell me to shut up.
Shinny tells everyone to shut up. You're not special in that regard. But like, you know, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, because that's also not going to be your only episode that you can
No.
cover with something
I
specific.
still want to try and teach you music theory. I think that would be funny.
For a whole hour and a half.
There's a lot. It's like learning a language.
Okay, but that's the thing. I don't know if that would be entertaining. But you know,
I
here,
think we could.
I'll pull up.
Andrew, we're just autistic. There's a difference.
I'll pull up the podcast thingy. Oh no, that's the code. I'll pull up here. And I'll write down, what was the thing that you had asked if I had written down before? SCP.
SCP. Like I know there's that entire reference that someone's like example that someone made of like
Bye, Mikey.
Bye, Maggie. Where someone was comparing like casual enjoyment to enjoyment.
Excuse me.
You know what I mean.
I didn't realize that was the technical term for it.
That's the best way I can think to describe it, frankly. But it's like someone saying like that they really enjoyed donuts, and then someone's like, I do too, and you find out that they built their entire house out of donuts. It's like that's the level of enjoyment that I get.
See, that's the thing.
Like-
Same thing to Andrew's point. I don't think it's just autism. I think that just allows more hyperfixations
Yeah.
that can like take up your time and like your mind resource power. Because I would say I'm the same way in a sense of like I could list chronologically Perfume's entire discography and career and their origin story. And I don't think a normal person does that. So I think it just depends on what you get into.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which, speaking of, should I write down Perfume as an episode?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
feel like we could just cover that in the music episode, though.
Oh yeah, we
Because
probably could.
I'm not gonna. If I'm already having a Luna episode, I'm not gonna drag people into a Perfume episode. Because Luna's more fantastical. Perfume's like real stuff. But yeah, let's see. I think in terms of like all of the characters that I've seen, and it makes me want to get more into designing and actually fleshing out characters that I've had in my mind for a while. Because there's a lot of characters that we didn't cover on here solely because we've only ever like talked about
Written
them.
about them. Yeah, or yeah.
Like,
I have a lot of characters that are a part of the entire big timeline story that I mentioned that just don't have any. Some of them don't even have names still. I just refer to them as this person's wife, and
well,
that's how I think of them because I don't have a name for them yet.
that's how we refer to Faye,
I've
Kester's
counted
wife.
them. I've counted them, Shinny, and I know I have over 100. Probably over 200 at this point.
I was about to say, you reminded me of Andrew's whole story thing that he talked about ages ago to me, where he was talking about all the different planets and all the different universes. Oh, and that's the other thing. Sarah loves if you give her any kind of character that you do not use, and then she's like, can I use it for something? She'll just take it. Like, she'll grab your character, and then they'll be like a monarch somewhere. Like,
It's true.
it's funny.
I'm good
pretty
at
sure,
repurposing
isn't that what
characters.
you did with, was it Zant?
It was Zant, yes.
Yeah, I don't even remember what he was for originally, honestly.
He was for, we were doing one of our various wizard high school things in Minecraft Wizard Academy ones.
Oh, right.
And I was like, make a character. And you basically said fine. And we made Zant Luna or something like that. Zant Lima or something like that.
Zant Ligma. Before the times.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
And then I just stole it.
We did a
just do a
lot
lot.
of just random role plays, especially ones that we did not document anywhere.
Yes.
That just happened, that we made up on the spot. Even past like childhood, going into like being teenagers, we did a lot of those.
We liked storytelling.
In
You
such
remember
interesting
that
ways.
time we had a Magic Academy on Minecraft and then something
Which one?
happened and you just started burning it down?
That could have been multiple. Like,
No, there was one where it was with the Dio Quiz people.
again, I swear we did that at least twice or 3 times.
I remember specifically there was one that we had on a creative world that wasn't like on a server because we did stuff on servers too, but it was a creative world. And we did something and it pissed you off and you just started burning everything to the ground.
I mean, it sounds like me.
Yeah.
Let the sins burn, am I right? Like, and I'm probably, you know what the funny part is? I'm probably also the one that single-handedly built that Magic High School.
Oh, absolutely.
Like-
Absolutely you were.
I love to create things and then destroy them. Or better yet, I love to create things, and then when someone pisses me off, I will leave that thing, and because it is so massive, you can't get rid of it. Like,
Didn't you do that on a server one time?
Yes. Multiple times. That's what I did back on Ranch and Craft too. I made a wizard tower. I made a giant modern house. I made another
modern
wizard
house.
tower. Like, I love a good modern house or wizard tower. Let
Yeah.
me tell you, those are my jams. I can build fun things, even though they look so stupid. But there's this one wizard tower design that I always go back to because it's a floating one, and I always think that's cool, but it also is like so massive that it makes no sense to have that as a home. And so I just make this giant floating wizard tower as a empty shell, and then I don't use it. And so it's just sitting there kind of like a trophy or something. But yeah. Anyways, speaking of wizard towers, actually, I want to briefly talk about the original story.
Oh boy. Okay.
We're not going to reread it. Not now.
Not now.
We've already reread it plenty of times, but basically, at the beginning, when the original furry fursona of Quizzy that you all saw, that was the version of Quizzy, like the first known one that I can even think of, that I used in a story, and it was specifically with Sarah. We did this story together. What is it called? We Are Not Okay? What is it called? No, it's
No,
called.
this
it's
is
called.
what happens
This is what
when you
happens
leave.
when Quiz and Sarah are trapped in a room with
I
nothing
thought you
but
were
2
gonna
laptops
censor
and
it.
Google
I
Docs.
thought you were gonna use your censor.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is what happens when. Hold on, give me a second. And. Okay, it's a little bit out of sync because we both did it at the same time. I'm in a room trapped with nothing but 2 laptops and Google Docs. But did we even plan it out, or were we just going?
We just went.
Because I think we just went. There's like over 14 pages of it, and then after a certain part, I don't know if it's we gave up or we didn't want to write it anymore, but we just stopped. Like, we just
We did.
wrote and scene, and we didn't write it from then on. But yeah, that was the first time that Quizzy came into the thing. Was that the first time that Sarah, as that kind of version of Sarah, came into a story?
Yes, and she changed her entire design halfway through too.
Yeah.
But she was blonde in this one.
And staying with the furry theme, there was like a really femme fox that looked like she would have worked for Hooters called Kichi. that again I have a drawing of somewhere. I don't remember where.
And you gave me the drawing.
I did?
Yeah.
Do you have it?
I had somewhere. I had it on my door at our last house.
And people wondered what's wrong with that. But yeah. So she wasn't naked, but she had a very tight top.
But wasn't she a kid in this one?
No, I think she was a tiny little fox that turned into yet another anthropomorphic fox, but she was a girl, so of course she had boobs.
Sure, hold on.
Meanwhile, Sarah is looking through the entire... I mean, you could just do Control F and search for Kichi. Yeah. Small little brown eyes were staring back at her from about 2 feet down. A little fennec fox was looking right at her, making a small purring sound. Around its neck was a small red leather band with a little gold coin attached to it that read Kichi. I don't know where she came from. All I know is that that is where she originated. We never used her beyond that, thank God. But yeah. And there was not really a story in the traditional sense. It was more like we were just making things up. Ba ba da beat ba. You know?
There's also so many innuendos in this.
Mm-hmm. And we wrote this when we were like what? 14? 13?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to think that the beginning of me and Sarah getting into our gay eras started with each other. Not like we were into each other, but like we started.
Based on this, you wouldn't be able to tell what we meant. To be fair,
We started writing things, and I remember one of the main things that I always felt was like so saucy was like when I made a character bi. Like I was like, ooh, they could like girls, but they could also like boys. Like that was so big. And yeah, it was so funny.
Very closeted.
Which is funny, especially considering who we are as people now.
Yeah.
Listen, things have changed, okay?
Things massively changed.
Things change, people change. We almost wrote porn. Like...
We don't need to talk about that.
Only one time, and to be fair, I think it was because I wanted to write porn.
Yes, it was because you wanted to, and I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, like, don't you hate it when you try and write porn, and then, like, your cousin doesn't want to write it with you? Because I hate that. That's not fun.
Do we even still have that?
I don't think so.
Maybe that's for the best.
Well, hold on, let me look. Because, also, I love that. Okay, so, like I said, I don't care, Andrew. Like I said,
Yeah, we do have it.
we technically have this, like, quote-unquote story that we have with all of our characters as humans, full humans now. No anthropomorphic foxes. But we've never actually fully written it out, or even wrote that much of it. Like, we wrote backstories for it, specifically for Sarah and Quizzy a long time ago, to which their backstories have changed. But we never actually wrote anything official, and I think if we ever did role plays, that's what we considered official, even though it was so on crack. I don't know how we could consider that official.
There's so much.
But yeah. Oh, and then there was that other story that we wrote together about hackers.
Yes. I repurposed my character from that too.
I never repurposed mine. What was his actual name? I just remember he went by Technofox.
I don't know.
Sam? Was it Sam? Was it Max? Who was it? I swear if it's Alex again, I'm gonna throw a table. Because the amount of... it was Sam. The amount of times that I used the name Alex, and the amount of times I gave characters red eyes, and the amount of times I gave characters called Alex red eyes was honestly disconcerting. Like, I don't know if that was the weeaboo in me, or if that was like my type, or... Well, here. This is something that I thought about before this. I often created characters that I either wanted to be like or I wanted to be with. Can you relate to that?
Sorry, repeat that.
I would make characters that I either wanted to be or that I wanted to be with. Like when I was making my own characters.
Berries? Because this is gonna sound weird. A lot of my characters kind of just made themselves.
I don't trust that.
I mean, my self inserts, yes, that was me making them and I wanted to make them like me. But a lot of them just more or less kind of made themselves and put them into the story themselves. I may have started out with an idea, but then they fledged themselves out.
They fledged?
Yes. Like, Iza from the entire slideshow. There was always something about him that I was like, there's something about you that I don't know, but there's something missing. And then one day, it just kind of clicked, and I'm like, oh, you're trans. That would have been great to know. So that is like a conscious decision that I made, but it's something that just ended up happening. Same kind of with Leo. It just kind of became a thing of like, oh, you're a drag queen. All right. Good to know.
Are they speaking to you?
Kind of.
The things we'll never understand.
This is why I say it makes me sound more crazy than I actually am, because this is actually pretty normal for writers.
I mean, I think there's definitely... I've had moments specifically with characters, even with a character that I'm actively trying to figure out right now in relation to the story that goes with this person. By this person, I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
That quite literally, whenever I think about this person, I'm like, I don't know any details about you. Because they're supposed to be like mysterious, but because of that, I also don't know any details about them. And so I have no clue if I'm ever going to be able to flesh that person out, because I genuinely don't know if the details will fall into place, or if someday it's gonna be like, wait, they revealed their face to me. Wait, what?
Yeah, it sometimes happens, I think. I think that is sometimes just what happens.
I think
you're creating
it depends on what the character is in relation to you. Because the more it's separate from you and more of like a person in and of itself, the more the details kind of become their own thing. Because if it's like your own character, I feel like that definitely makes it easier to be like, oh, they're like this, or like they want to be like this. Or especially if it's like a character that you want to fuck. Like,
well,
because you know what you're into.
I don't know if I've ever made a character specifically because I want to fuck them.
Well, not specifically like that, but more, like I said, be or be with. Be with does not mean let's have sex now, baby. Like,
do you still have that chart?
Do I? I think it's on Discord somewhere. I wonder. Hold on. I think if it was to be anywhere, it would be on Discord between us.
I feel like...
But I feel like we also send so much garbage to each other.
It's true. It's very true.
It makes no sense.
Oh, cocks on fishnets. I forgot about that.
Shh, don't talk about that. And plus, at the end of the day, no matter what, I think all characters can become extensions of you, even if they're not fully related to you, just because they were technically birthed from your mind.
Oh yeah, there's the entire so I'm gonna get into, I know this isn't the therapy episode, but I'm gonna get into it anyways.
Here we go.
When I was talking about my core 5, they are what my therapist refers to as my parts, quote unquote, my parts. And we do something called part work, where they are all different parts of me that have like their own purpose. how I explained how they had their own purposes for like writing stories and everything, but they have their own purposes in other ways too. And they're still my characters. They have their own stories and everything. But they're still like a part of me, and they still have a purpose outside of their stories. And being able to connect with them and talk to them and be like trying to use them to figure out my problems is a very important skill that I've learned.
Okay. I found
But
it.
they're still my characters. You found it?
I'm gonna put it on the screen.
So which one hates soup?
It's true.
That's a good question. Who does hate soup?
You should figure that out. You should pinpoint where this soup hatred is coming from. Because in my mind, I like to imagine, like, because all the characters are like somehow parts of you, one of those bitches is the reason you hate soup.
Oh goodness.
Okay, let me do image.
Believe it or not, it might be Sarah.
God. She was with us all along. Okay, so here is this.
There's more on here. Yeah.
I'll put it behind us. So, this is our little chart. Now, you might not understand who all of these characters are. I don't even remember who all these characters are. But we have the categories of God. Listen. God, I wish that were me. God, I wish someone like this would fucking plow me. And this is bitch. Because the me thing. Okay, hold on. Is this bitch serious, or was it this is me and we didn't make it serious?
I think it was supposed to be this is me, and then actually I don't know.
Because we have the actually us as Kero and Mero.
Yeah.
Listen. Anyway, let's get into it. So we'll do this for a tiny amount of time and then we'll end podcast stream. So we have this is me / bitch. We have what? We have bad boy corner. And also notice how there's different Sarahs on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of different Sarahs.
Because they are different people, but like different versions. And so with the first, we'll go with the outside and we'll work our way in. So the actually us, Mero and Kero, those are the Utaloids that I made. Mero's always gonna be scuffed until we figure out how to fix her.
We'll be near each other. We have more time.
But basically they're the ones that can sing songs in Japanese. And so they're literally just us, but with a different kind of outfit that I've never made. That eventually I might one day do. And then we talked about Kichi, animal filler, which sounds gross, but like it's true. That's what she was. And then explain the bad boy corner, because these are yours.
Genuinely, I don't know. I don't know. I can understand why Sarah is the one of the Sarahs is in there, but I genuinely have no idea why Xant's in there.
Bad boy corner.
He wasn't a villain or anything.
But bad boy corner.
I don't know why he's in there.
Bad boy corner. Listen, that's I don't make the rules. You make the rules.
The Sarah in there is the Sarah that belongs to Allegro's story.
Also, let it be known, some of these, where they're placed, is in relation to when they were made, the characters themselves. Because I'm looking at Quizzy versus Quizzy Alpha, and that would have changed something. But then there's also the what category.
You wished you were an anthropomorphic fox.
But then there's also the what category.
What does that even say? I can't even read it.
I see Sam, Jack, and Michael.
Why is Jack in there?
I don't know. I know who Michael is, and I'm assuming Sam is your Sam.
I'm assuming
because
so.
I have
know.
my Sam to God. I wish that were me.
I feel like that's what I feel like. I tried to explain Jack and Sam to you, and you just put them in what?
I think I put Michael in what because at that time I didn't know what his personality was going to be. He was from the Jelly comic. He was the one with the neon portrait.
Maybe that was when I was redesigning Jack.
But
that
yeah,
may have been when I was redesigning him, actually.
there's that. And then let's see. Okay, I'm assuming the This Is Me is actual This Is Me. And not This Is Bitch. And the bitch was just part of what it was. But if we work from that way down, then let's go with Alex, which was my OC that I did for the Ikebukuro, where I was like just making me as a self-insert essentially. And then below that we have Kelvin, which is hilarious considering we don't even know what Kelvin's really like other than very few details.
He's a musician. That was one of the things I knew about.
Didn't he play like a
trombone?
I was about to say.
He played trombone. Was this made before I played trombone? The villain was of the main story of the villain.
Is their name the villain?
We never really came up with a name, but it's Sarah's boss.
Did we even talk about that in the main story though?
I made it up for my part of the story.
Made it up, never conveyed it. And apparently Leo is below Kelvin.
I don't know.
Apparently you are more like Leo than you think. Maybe he's the one I hate too.
Because in my mind, Kelvin's black.
Yeah, that's what, I thought that was canon at this point.
I don't know why he's me.
Maybe you meant personality-wise.
I think I meant personality-wise more.
And then Allegra's underneath that. Who's in the middle?
I don't know. I think I know who it is, but I don't know what it says.
Hold on. It says, yes, it's based off
right.
Zelda Navi.
Yeah, so the name was Navi because I based it off of Legend of Zelda Navi. And you typed in all of that.
It just looks like a blue line from here.
It does, but the name was Navi. It has changed to Natalie since then.
Wow. Poor Navi. And then we have 3 Sarahs on here. I just realized because we have Alpha Sarah, Other Sarah, and then Sarah from Other Story.
Yep.
Because didn't Alpha Sarah turn into the Blue Sarah? Essentially.
So Alpha Sarah turned into the Purple Sarah, who then turned into the Blue Sarah.
Oh dear God.
But they're all separate entities.
And apparently they're in between That Was You and That's Who You Wanted to Be.
Yes.
And then who was Zoe from?
Zoe was from the same story that Purple Sarah's from, Xant's from, Allegro is from, all of those people are.
Everyone. And then Kenzie was leaning more towards I Wish That Were Me. Probably in terms of being smart. And then, okay, I do not recall placing Alpha Quizzy this close to God, I Wish That Were Me, but I'm assuming when I made it at the time, as in when I made Alpha Quizzy the character, that's where I was going. But I feel like he would skew closer towards God, I Wish Someone Like This Would Plow Me Too, because of how gay I was.
It isn't helping the furry accusations.
Yeah, but you know, it is what it is. And then Sam was the Technofox.
Wait. Okay, that's your Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's neon green. Because I remember that was the Sam from the We Aren't Ourselves one, which by the way was just a story about basically being in a simulation.
Yeah, basically.
So, and then Jade of More, I Wish That Was Me. Who's Rye?
Same from the same story.
Same story. So, basically, if I don't recognize the name, probably from that same story.
Yeah. I don't know if Skylar is Sky or if Skylar is the one from the simulation story. I think it's from the simulation story.
I think it's from the simulation story because I'm pretty sure that's what you called them.
I think that was the first iteration. Yeah, I think that was the first iteration of Sky.
Wow. I was there for the birth of Sky too.
Yeah.
And then
was Liam your vampire?
No. Liam was the counterpart to Michael. He was the one in the black turtleneck with the jelly on his turtleneck. That sounds gross. But like, and that was closer to I Wish Someone Like Him Would Plow Me. Same with Quizzy, but less so. Because while like, sure, love Quizzy, I don't know if I could handle an actual himbo in real life. It depends how nice they are versus how stupid they are.
Then you have Delana, who's another one from the story. That is, I'm just gay, and she's muscular.
I was about to say, is it a buff lady? Is that where we're going here?
It is indeed a buff lady. Her and Natalie, aka Navi, a date in my story. So.
This is what I'm saying. There's a lot of dating characters in this entire thing. Because I can see multiple connections on this list. But yeah. So, as you can tell, we have a lot of issues.
We're very mentally ill.
And we're like succulents. We break off pieces of ourselves to grow into different things.
If I was a greenhouse, I would be full of plants.
And I would be rotten on the inside. But yeah, anyways, let's end it here because we've already gone like 10 minutes over time. But you know what, if anything, that's just a testament to how much garbage we can talk about these characters because of how much we've invested into them.
Yes.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if the pod is happening next week. We'll see.
I'm gonna be in the process of moving, so it's
Sarah's
very
gonna be
much
moving, so I don't know if Sarah's not here. I might try and find a substitute.
Wow.
I might try and find a substitute Sarah. Listen.
You have to put a mask on them if you do that.
Easy. I can put the blue wig you're wearing on right now.
You have to get rid of their eyebrows.
Shinny. I'll put it on Shinny. And she won't even be the one here. I'll just put it on Shinny and put her in the corner. But yeah, so if she can show up, then we'll do something. If not, I'll figure something out. That's all you need to know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And possibly,
Thanks for coming.
I'll at least see you on Wednesday. And then the Sunday. Because I'm streaming regardless of if you're here or not. I have a schedule to keep.
All right.
Okay. Goodbye.
Farewell.